Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now, we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or, your father was right. You were an idiot, and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
All right, welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. This is a my pick. Well, I'm a little worried.
You say it with such defeat in your voice.
I have not been doing well. I have not been doing well on my picks. If we go, The Fly was your pick. Land of the Dead was your pick. The Lost Boys. These are all been good. Your pick. I picked American Pie, which was all right, but it was not as good as I remember. Yeah. Even worse for you. Death Wish 3 and Jaws 3, horrible, but so fantastic. Weren't really my picks. They were just because we did Jaws and Death Wish 2 and Jaws 2. The Thing was your pick.
Yes.
Critters, Ernest Goes to Camp. Those are mine. Predator, The Running Man. Those were yours. Maximum Overdrive and One Crazy Summer. Those are mine. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, we're going back to the 80s for 1987's Monster Squad. I remember loving this movie. I bought this movie a long time ago, and it's the 20th anniversary. And it has a ton of stuff. And then not too long after I bought it, a 4K came out. And I'm like, fuck. So yeah. Have you seen the Monster Squad? I can't remember if we've gone over this.
I don't think I have seen it. It does look familiar, though.
Okay.
So I'm like, I can't remember this movie, but that's not saying much because it would have come out in 1980s. It came out in 1987. I probably would have seen it in the late 80s if I had seen it. And don't get me wrong, the images look familiar.
They're pretty standard.
Yeah. So I'm like, this looks very familiar. So I don't know if I've watched it once, literally 35 years ago, and just have never seen it again. Because when you said Monster Squad, I was like, that name sounds really familiar, but I couldn't place it. So I don't think I have seen it. I'm running on the assumption I haven't. Let's see what it's like. Tell us what you remember.
I remember I just mistaken HBO or Showtime. I can't remember when back in the probably late 80s when I came across this movie. And I just remember thinking it was awesome. It was the Goonies, but with Dracula and Frankenstein and the Mummy and the Thing from the Black Lagoon and the werewolf. It's just 12-year-olds that have to deal with these monsters that come to town. I remember loving this movie. I remember liking Ernest Goes to Camp. So take that for what you will.
That's not saying much.
No. And Critters.
Yeah. Also, yeah, no.
Yeah. No, I remember it being funny. I remember being not overly gory or anything. I remember it being like a kid's movie.
Yeah.
It's written by Shane Black, who did Predator, and where are we here? Fred Decker also did RoboCop 3. Not a great example. He did Night of the Creeps, which I remember loving. The Predator.
Oh, yes. I like The Predator.
Yeah, so he's done some really good movies. And Shane Black and Fred Decker wrote this. Shane Black was a huge writer before he became a director, but he did Iron Man 3, The Nice Guys, Kiss Kiss Bang, Predator. So he wrote a lot, and he directed quite a few of those movies as well. I think he wrote The Nice Guy, directed Iron Man 3, Kiss Kiss Bang, and The Nice Guys. It does. I don't know who it stars. I'm just going to bring that up. Andre Gower.
Sounds right.
Tom Noonan, which there's a lot of faces in here that when you like Stan
Yes.
Shaw, who else is in here?
Stephen Mock.
Yeah.
Jason
People
Hervey.
that like you'll recognize a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I remember it looked good, but like I said, I'm a little nervous when I'm picking a movie.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't a big box office hit. That should be your first red flag. Let's see. What do we have for budget? 12 to 14 million. That's not bad for a 1987 kids movie.
I don't know.
From 87?
Maybe. It depends on how big the cast is. If it's a very large cast, then 100%. It's a reasonable amount.
But I never 1987, I was pretty young. I don't remember seeing commercials for it. I don't remember seeing anything until I stumbled upon it watching TV.
Yeah.
And I saw Coming Up Next.
That's how I found most of my movies.
Yeah. And you're like, ooh,
when I was growing up, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Let's go.
Yeah, let's see. Let's share this. So let's see what it did do at the box office. The Monster Squad from 1987. Ooh.
Ooh.
It did not recoup its money back. It made a total of $3.7 million on a $12 to $14 million budget. Not great.
Not great at all.
Great.
Not great.
Oh, and they had our idea from last week's Land of the Dead. Maybe should release it in August. That didn't work for them either.
Oh my God.
August 14th it opened, and it opened in, oh my God, 12. It didn't even make the top 10.
Okay, but hold on.
That's a lot of good movies. Oh my God.
Stakeout.
Awesome.
Living Daylights. Can't Buy Me Love.
Yep.
Classic. No Way Out.
Classic.
La Bamba. Masters of the Universe.
One of our favorites. Fat Boys from Disorderlies.
Yeah, Disorderlies. RoboCop. The Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Summer School.
Yep.
Back to the Beach.
I love Back to the Beach.
My God. Yes. I forgot about that movie. And then it was
The Monster Squad. Just ahead of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That was in its 5th week.
This movie did not have a chance.
No.
Not even a little bit.
Because if you're like an older kid, you're looking at Low 7. You're looking at Stakeout with Richard Dreyfuss and Emilio Estevez. You're looking at La Bamba, He-Man. If you're a kid, RoboCop. My God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was not.
See, and I would have been watching Back to the Beach because I was obsessed.
Summer School, Back to the Beach. Give me 1 second here, and I really got to remember to edit this out. My wife is actually in Thunder Bay for school.
Oh, fun.
Okay. I'm going to forget to take this out, so I apologize, everyone listening and hearing that. Okay. Yeah, no, it didn't have that's a lot of good movies.
That's a lot. This movie did not have a chance. Now, if this movie was out with all of those movies and it sucked, then the take home makes perfect sense.
Let's take a look at some taglines. Let's look at taglines. $1987. Oops. Oh, there's a few. Okay. The end of the world starts at midnight. Never send a man to do a kid's job.
Actually, I really like that.
Call them for a monstrous good time.
No.
You know who to call when you have ghosts, but who do you call when you have monsters?
No.
Every 100 years, the forces of darkness arise to challenge the forces of light for control of all mankind. This is the year. Tonight is the night, but this time Dracula has bitten off more than he can chew. That's the back of a VHS cover.
I was going to say, that is not a tagline.
Never send a man to do a kid's job is probably the best one
Yeah.
here.
Although
Yeah.
it would have been better never send a grown up to do a kid's job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it would have worked a lot better.
See, you're pretty good at that. You should.
So good at it. Somebody hire me. All right,
I
taglines for everybody.
I love the poster. For those listening, it's you know who to call when you have ghosts, but who do you call when you have monsters? And then it's a sea of Frankenstein, the Mummy, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Thing from the Black Lagoon, and then a bunch of kids sitting on the front of a car, the Monster Squad. If this movie's good, this is a great poster.
Honestly, even if the movie's shit, it's a great poster. I would
Well,
put that up.
I remember the movie. They look like the Universal
Yeah.
original monsters. Like he looks like the original Dracula, the original Mummy, the original Black Lagoon. Yeah, it is a great
Also,
poster.
if you enjoy those original monsters, there is an episode of Supernatural that takes place in
Oh yeah.
like during Oktoberfest or whatever, and there's a shapeshifter who is it a shapeshifter? Anyways, it doesn't really matter. He changes into all the various different monsters, and they filmed it in black and white, and it's fantastic. I'm like, old monster movie, love it. So just in case after you watch this movie, you want to watch that, go right ahead.
All right, let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I don't think they liked it. I don't think so. Oh,
Here. Let's see. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Here, I'll share it so we can take a look. We have 27 reviews coming at 56%. 25,000 plus audience reviews coming in at 78%. So this is a big difference. So the people the fans liked it a lot more than the reviewers.
critics.
Yeah. This was my pick. I will look for a good one. There we go. Caffeinated Clint from Movie Hole. The plot line was rather thin. A bunch of kids team up to take on all those classic movie monsters, but it was the execution of it that worked. 3.5 out of 5.
Mike Massey from Gone with the Twins says, thanks to Stan Winston's monster designs, what could have been a largely schlocky endeavor gains moderate gravity, particularly with a werewolf transformation sequence. Original score 4 out of 10. He hated that movie, but that kind of sounded positive.
Yeah. Christy Strauss from Wonderfully Weird and Horrifying. The Monster Squad is an enchanting cinematic experience, brimming with nostalgia and punctuated by unforgettable one-liners.
TV Guide said, neither scary nor particularly funny. No score.
Molly Henry from the Blogging Band, she says, this film really has everything you could want from a light-hearted 80s horror flick. It is witty, it has great practical effects, the storyline is very original, and it appeals to people of all ages. 10 out of 10.
Damn. Bill Chambers from Film Freak Central, for a movie so aesthetically on the ball, it's a shame the screenplay is not the least bit industrious. Original score 2 out of 4.
Kevin Thomas from the LA Times says, the Monster Squad is such fun, it makes you wish you were a kid again. No actual number.
Checck O'Leary from FullViewDrivein.com, a silly half-baked amalgam of the Goonies and Ghostbusters. Original score 4 out of 10.
Scott Weinberg from FearNet.net. I'm sure all the Monster Squad enthusiasts will be absolutely thrilled with the package Lionsgate has put together here. Yeah, it's a review for the DVD. But he gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
It's okay. And I think this will be my last one. Vincent Canby from New York Times. A silly attempt to crossbreed an Our Gang comedy with a classic horror film, which usually means that both genres have reached the end of the line.
Keith Breeze from filmcritic.com. Unbridled fun for every kid who ever daydreamed about kicking monster ass. 3.5 out of 5.
Amazing.
All right.
You sound very positive, so I'm hopeful.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Streak's got to end here sooner or later. I got to pick a good one sooner or later. All right. The Monster Squad at IMDb, 87 PG, an hour and 22 minutes, comes in at 6.9 out of 10.
Interesting.
I will go for the first 10 out of 10. One of the greatest Halloween night movies ever. Rocketeer Flyer, 10 out of 10. And I will say I'm very excited. I've been holding off on this because I bought this a few months ago. Actually, quite a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, because it is PG, I am looking forward to watching this with my youngest.
Yeah, she'll probably really like it.
Maybe.
I have a feeling. But here's why I say she'll probably really like it. If you like Goonies, chances are you will thoroughly enjoy Monster Squad. Lindsay P. Wilcock, 9 out of 10.
Classic 80s horror that should be way more popular than it is. I've got Gmail, 8 out of 10.
The 80s had monsters, and they were fun. Landsman, 7 out of 10.
Yep, great fun for preteens and those who remember Universal monster flicks. 6 out of 10.
Oh, this one's kind of sweet. A Scooby-Doo adventure, but with more substance and heart. Prof. C. David, 5 out of 10.
The nieces and nephews were kept occupied and quiet, but he still gave it 4 out of 10. Tony Dolan.
Wow. Even as a kid, I did not care for this Monster Squad. Aaron, 1375, 3 out of 10.
Overrated movie full of annoying kids. I wanted to pay 2 out of 10.
Oh my God. Hold on. Let me just scroll through.
Are there a lot of them?
No, there aren't a lot of them. There are 4. But the first one I saw was this one, so I'm going to share it with the class. A character asks if a 5-year-old girl is a virgin during the film. That tells you all you need to know. The one that you wanted, 1 out of 10.
Now that's taken out of context. See, I hate when people do that. I remember that. I don't want, you know what? I will explain it. You don't think you've seen it. It will ruin the ending. Because why he does and has to is what leads up to it is actually very funny. I remember it being funny.
Okay.
And yes, that is a line from the movie, but there is a reason behind it.
I also read the first few lines of her review, and it's like awful, and not even for the reason I put in the title of this review. The film is annoying and boring. Too many face shots of Dracula seems super strange. The action was not there. Just the after effects of the action. I think this was some kind of rush job to rip off the Goonies or something. Just lame and not meant for children or adults. Toilet trash and rats are more likely than the target audience.
Wow.
The same guy who directed RoboCop 3 directed this film. That tells you how much the producers valued this trash. Wow.
RoboCop 3 was a bad movie. I will say that.
Yes, but still.
All right. We have to do... I'm just taking a look here to...
Yeah, no worries.
I just don't want a fan trailer.
Gentlemen, do you see these file folders? Discipline reports. Lots of them.
See, sir, we have this monster club.
Monsters are not real.
You guys missed it! Oh, fuck.
I think this is a fan. Sorry.
Okay.
Here we go.
You know who to call when you have ghosts. But who do you call when you have monsters?
We're the Monster Squad. What's a squad? It's like Miami Vice, I think.
They're young and inexperienced.
Naughty virgin.
They're a bit disorganized.
Monsters are not real.
We don't know that, sir.
2,000-year-old dead guys do not get up and walk away by themselves.
But when strange things start happening in town,
There's a monster in my closet.
Ooh, look at that big, scary monster!
What's happening? You wait until the werewolf.
Silver bullet?
they're the only ones ready to do battle.
Something's out there that's killing people. And if it's monsters, nobody's gonna do a thing about it but us.
Soon the creatures of the night shall rule the world.
Real monsters? Us? Midnight. In the world, remember? Maybe we can be like Mask Squad instead, you know? Do mask bombs.
Get 1035, stick back up! Hurry
Or Nature Squad. The book is right. Don't you think it's all true?
By midnight,
You guys!
they won't seem so young anymore. The Monster Squad.
Wolfman's gone mad!
That doesn't look terrible.
No, it doesn't look terrible. It looks like a kid's movie.
No, it does look like a kid's movie, but it's got a weird kids action, but adult vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to see how it plays out.
I remember the effects and the monsters looking quite well, and the
Yeah.
transformation of the werewolf. I don't think it's American Werewolf with London, but I just remember liking it, and I hope it.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope I like it too.
Yeah, I always hope we
really
like
wanna
all the
break
movies.
your streak. I want
Yeah.
to break your streak though, but I promise that will not color my opinion. So I'm not gonna be like extra soft on this movie.
No.
But I have a feeling, like I was watching it and I was like, oh, I'm interested to watch that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like super terrible.
We are going to go watch The Monster Squad from 1987, and when we get back, we are going to review it and see if my streak's broken.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
Yay!
Woo!
Did you watch 1987's The Monster Squad?
I did.
And what are your initial thoughts?
Your streak is broken. I actually really like this. It was super wholesome, except for, a few slurs and just regular like 1980s shittiness. But overall, it was like a super cute, wholesome, like fun little movie.
Yeah, I watched it with my 7-year-old, and we had a lot of fun. It basically was, is this a scary movie? Yes. Do you promise? Yes. This isn't that scary. This isn't that scary. And then for the rest of the night, you need to come with me to the room. You need to come. I have to go to the bathroom. I'm serious. Everywhere she had to go, I had to go with her. I said, I thought you weren't scared. She is, well, maybe a little.
Well, I mean, the mummy was super stealth, so I can kind of understand. You don't want to open a closet and find a mummy in there. It's super weird.
Yeah. No, my initial thoughts was I could see why I really liked it as a kid.
Oh, 100%. I can see why this would be a favorite amongst kids.
Yeah, and it's a shame because it came out in August. We just went over this in the pre-recorded preview. But it was with like the Lost Boys and Summer School and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it just got lost in a summer of this should have came out
just before Halloween.
Before Halloween for
Mid-October.
kids. Yeah. This would have probably made, maybe not a blockbuster, but it would have made more than the $3 million it made. Because the effects were great.
The effects were so good.
And it's
I was
actually
so impressed.
Stan Winston. I mean, Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
Alien, Terminator. Yeah. And they didn't have a lot of budget, but he really.
And I just love it. They were like Monsters by Stan Winston. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
And then I made a note of that. But yeah, no, the effects were really good. Those skeletons in the beginning, I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
that is really good work.
There were a couple spots like the shot of the castle in the back foreground and stuff like that. But
some of it, but I mean, some of it is just 1980s.
yeah. But
And
for
that's-
1980s, it was.
This was really good for
It was
1980s.
really good.
But yeah, no, I actually really liked it. Teared up a little bit with Frankenstein's monster. Damn it, Frankie.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do the good, the bad, the ugly. What is the good? I would say the effects and the kids. Like the kids
Yeah.
being a
I'd say-
family.
Yeah, the same. The effects and the kids. Weirdly, none of these kids got on my nerves.
No, actually, I liked all the. I even like what's his name and Pete the dog.
Yes. I weirdly, all of the kids, everybody, I was like, I'm not annoyed by any of you, surprisingly, because
Yeah.
usually there's at least one kid that you're like, if you don't shut that fucking kid up. But there wasn't in this movie. They were all like pretty cute.
The bullies, the sister.
Oh God, that's just
And now you see what I mean about the 5-year-old version.
But also, still weird. But
Still weird, but
I understand why it got asked and by whom. Like,
Yeah.
that made sense.
I love when the sister fucks like just screws them right over.
Yeah, and it's like
You're not a virgin, are you?
Are you?
Well, no.
Well,
But he didn't
it was
count.
Steve. He doesn't count. And I'm like, girl, we've all got a Steve. We've all got a Steve that we're like, nope, he doesn't count. We don't add him on the list.
Yeah, no, it was what do you okay, the bad.
I don't know if we really needed to know that Sean's parents are having troubles.
Oh, going to
I
therapy.
don't know if we needed to know that. Like, by all means, have the mom be upset that he's getting called into work again.
Yeah.
Sure. But the whole we're going to marriage counseling, so you have to babysit your 5-year-old sister. And I was like, that feels a little deep for this movie. So I was like, some of the adulty kind of drama, I was not a fan of. That was probably like, honestly, that was like the also, okay, it was the bad, but also added to that, it's a part of the adulty drama. We get a hint that the man who's the indoor of his house is spotless, but the outdoor looks like nobody's been living in that house for the German man.
Oh, the German
is
guy,
his
yeah.
name. Yeah. I don't
Scary old German guy.
Literally. But yeah, when they're in the house and he's serving them pie, which God bless, I saw a menorah in the background and I said, oh, he's Jewish and German. I'm like, probably a Holocaust survivor. That's my thought process.
Yeah.
Because I was, and then they confirmed it with a very particular scene where you see his number from a concentration camp. And I was like, okay. And then we never touch on it again.
No.
And
we
I was
get
like,
that
oh.
line about monsters. I'm like, oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
And then that's
Yeah.
it.
And then that's it. And I was like, you don't have to, we get enough clues. There's a menorah. He's German. He's the right age. You don't even have to show us the number. But I'm like, yeah, the monsters. I know they wanted to just kind of hammer it home. But at the same time, I was like, guys.
Yeah.
And you gave me this little tidbit and then nothing.
Yeah.
So adult drama didn't need to be in this movie.
For me, the ugly was also some of the best part of this movie. One, it's an 80s movie, so you had the 80s effects. We got the blue lightning. We got the montage.
Yep.
We got the politically incorrect humor. So much incorrect humor. I was like, yay!
I was like, oh, we're talking about homos now. That's
and that kind of set me back. I guys, because it's like we're so protective now in our stuff, especially kids stuff, and I'm like, oh, I forgot we're in the 80s.
It's true though, because like you hear, okay, first of all, calling the poor teacher Meow Mix.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I was like, guys, that's so.
But they showed a picture of her. She looked like a cat. Like you could see why they call her Meow
and then there
Mix.
was homos.
Yeah, he's giving off total homo vibes.
Who's fat kid? Where's fat kid? Hey, fat kid.
Hey,
I
fat
was like,
kid.
my God. But then
And by today's standards, he's not that fat.
No.
Maybe for 80s he was fat, but today he
yes, but in the
mid-ground.
80s everybody was pretty much hungry. I mean, it was an epidemic all over the world. But then all of a sudden there's the F slur and I was like, "Whoa."
The F slur?
Mhm. For gay people?
Oh,
They said it
yeah.
quite a few times, yeah.
Yeah, they did quite a few times at the beginning there.
And I was like, guys, I mean, homos and not super comfortable with, but acceptable. Like especially in the 80s, I was like, cool. But then when they started throwing out the F slur, I was like, oh,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
guys.
As live or
you
die
guys.
on the playground.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Everything they said was perfectly acceptable in 1987.
I went through a phase as a child where I used the F word. If everyone's like, faggot is the word we're talking about. And I went through this phase where I was calling everyone that. And I had no clue what the word. I just knew it was pissing people off. And like I called my older cousins it, and he had me by the scruff, and my uncles and my grandparents. What are you doing? He called me this. I'm like, do you even know what it means? No. But I know he's won it. If he's that mad, he's gonna thump the living crap out of me.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, back when you're that, you don't. You say the words, you don't even know what it means. Doesn't mean it was right.
No, it doesn't mean it was right. And I mean, it is what it is. But like I had to keep reminding myself in the beginning because that's the only time you really see a lot of that.
Yeah,
there's some other stuff, but it's not as heavy.
Yeah, some peeping Tom stuff.
Yeah, which is creepy and weird. I was like, is he looking into some? I was like, oh God, guys. And then I was like, wait, 1980s. Curvy teen.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was a running gag, especially when Frankenstein. No, and yeah, so that was the I think it could have used another 10-15 minutes focusing on the bond of Frankenstein and the kid. Just a little more. But
I wanted a tea party with them. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted Frankenstein and the little girl to have a tea party.
I could have sworn they did have a tea party.
Did they?
No, obviously not, because I don't remember. It wasn't in this. But for some reason in my head, they did. Yeah. Maybe it was that young Frankenstein.
Once you said, didn't they? I immediately had an image of her sitting at a table and Frankenstein sitting at a table drinking tea out of the little plastic cups. And I was like, wait, that wasn't in this movie.
No.
It was all but I was like, I would love it.
Just a little more, like just a few more minutes of.
Yeah, because it was adorable.
Yeah, it was this was.
It would have reinforced the goodbye scene at the end.
Which was very sad because he was helping his little friend.
No, for real though. I teared up a little bit and I was like, why?
And she threw him the teddy bear.
Yeah, it's so cute. It was
Don't go, Frankenstein.
Don't go, Frankie. I love you. So cute. Well, her brother's a dickhead, and so are all of his friends. So yeah,
Phoebe the Phoebe.
Fuck them guys. Come back,
fat Horace. That's what if you're a Phoebe, that's what she said. Screw you, fat boy.
Oh God. But yeah.
No, it was this was it's not as good as Goonies, I will say that. But it is within that echelon of it belongs in that group of great kids movies from the 80s.
To be honest, it still pretty much holds up today.
Yeah, like the effects were fantastic.
Yeah, but also there are a few things like, do they even do shop class anymore?
No.
Yeah, and so I'm like, oh my God, the kids in shop class.
Should. I've seen some kids walking around. They could use some shop class.
I was super good in shop class.
Wasn't it fun? I sucked at it. So I had to go to the hospital because on the bandsaw, I ripped my finger apart. But it was so much fun, shop class. Even if you sucked.
We did it in like grade 7 or grade 8.
And the teachers would tell you sucked.
My teachers thought I was amazing. I made like a metal.
You must
box
have had someone in your class that sucked, and they got.
I mean, we had people that you would hear their name, like the teacher would be like, "No, wait." Nobody got hurt though, so I consider that a win. But yeah, no, I was like, do they even do shop class anymore? Because we had shop class in home ec.
We had
For
car
year.
restoration for a bit, and then that stopped, and they should really bring that stuff back.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I learned a lot.
It's not for everybody, but you do learn a lot. Like
especially safety.
Yeah.
I think more people need to learn. And you can always tell the people who did not grow up around power tools, because they're the first ones to try and reach out and like touch something.
Yeah.
You're like, don't touch the power tool. You see that spinning saw?
Yeah.
Not a good idea to see how fast it's going. But I think a lot of people have lost their ability to recognize danger.
Yeah.
And a shop class teaches you.
Yeah.
Because their part of the class is you have to be super aware. Otherwise, you might lose a finger.
And just some basic skills with a hammer and a nail or a screwdriver.
So needed.
Yeah.
The amount of friends I have who are like, I'm just going to put a nail in here and hang this exceptionally heavy painting. And I'm like, is there a stud there?
Because what's
like,
his... Yeah, exactly. What's his name? The cool kid.
I'm going to call him Cool Kid.
Cool Kid.
He totally has a name, I swear.
Oh my God. Patrick
Rudy.
Sean. Rudy.
Right?
And he's in shop class, and he's making bullets.
He's making silver bullets.
Making cross stakes to shoot with a bow and arrow. But I remember in shop class, you were pretty much, once you got your lesson, like after the first bit, when you were left to do whatever you wanted to do. I made a skateboard one year.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. It looked good, but it could not really be. It cannot really be.
No, I get that.
Used, but it looked.
You could hang it. It looked great. So
it was a decoration.
But
if you tried riding it, would not be a good idea. But yeah, he's making silver bullets and stakes, and overall, I had a lot. I had even more fun with my kid, my 7-year-old. Because this will now be a Halloween absolutely staple. Next year we will, for the next few years, and then she wants something scarier, and then she won't want to watch nothing with me, and I'll just sit there cry watching Monster Squad by myself.
She'll be like, oh my God, you want to watch another movie? I'm gonna go hang out with my friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my friends. There's a tear rolls down my cheek. All right, well, let's go through this movie.
Yes. Let's.
And at first I was like, this is, before we go, because at first I'm like, the fuck, this is all like what a great coincidence that everything's falling here. But it was there on purpose, I get.
Yes.
So it isn't as silly as I first thought. I'm like, oh no. My streak still goes.
No, honestly, right. I was very surprised. I was like, oh my God, he broke his streak. I am so proud of you.
Yay. The Monster Squad is a club of preteens who idolize the Universal classic monster movies and their non-human stars. Club leader Sean Crenshaw, whose young sister Phoebe desperately wants to join the club, is given the diary of legendary monster hunter Dr. Abraham Van Helsing. So before that, we get the opening. I love the opening.
The last line of the opening sent me, and I was like, that's fantastic.
Yeah, where it just says every 100 years, blah, 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 and they blew it.
And then they show you how they blew it.
Yeah, and then they show you the big fight.
They're like, and this is how it went so super wrong.
But the excitement abates when he finds it is written in German. Sean and the rest of the Monster Squad, his best friend and second in command, Patrick Rhodes, Clumsy Horace, tough older kid Rudy, and little Eugene, go to visit an elderly man known as a scary German guy. Actually, a kind general and former concentration camp prisoner translate the diary. So this skips a little bit. We do get to see a nice little rounding of the characters, the two main characters, and getting in trouble with the principal that gives off homo vibes. And then we get Horace, or Fat Kid, where the one bully looked very familiar.
Yeah, no, one of them was in the Wonder Years.
The older brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you said Wonder Years. Yep.
He's a great bully. I enjoy him.
They're smacking the shit out of him, and then Rudy helps Fat Kid.
But the bully was literally smacking the shit out of Fat Kid.
Yeah, literally.
Open hand on the both
bitch
hands
slapping him.
Bitch slapping him. And I was like, my dude, like that's even more insulting. At least punch him.
Yeah, at least make him feel like a man and punch him.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, if you're gonna beat him up, like
now you make him feel like a
fists.
chubby bitch.
Yeah, I was like, oh, open hand slaps.
And
how
then
disrespectful.
And then Rudy makes him eat that chocolate bar that was all stepped on.
Yes, which I love because this is one of my favorite things to ever see. It's when bullies get bullied.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I was like, yes, take that, douchebag.
They invite him to the
Monster
clubhouse,
Squad,
Monster Squad house, which was kind of cool in a swamp. I'm like,
that house did not look structurally safe.
No, I'm pretty sure after they built it, some of the guys were like, are the kids going to be okay up there?
The weird extensions on it. And I was like, I don't think that's supposed to be like that.
Yeah, because it's huge on the inside. Oh my God.
It's ginormous.
And then we get to see that, and then we see that his best friend lives next door, where Rudy sees the sister changing. So he decides he'll join the club.
He's like, yeah, okay, I'll join the club.
His mom and then we get the thing like you were saying, where we get to see the husband and the wife. The husband is a detective, and they're supposed to be going to the
marriage counseling.
Sean wants to go to the drive-in to see Groundhog Day 8 or some whatever, and it's at the drive-in, which he can see from his house. I remember that. When I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah. I as a kid, I was like, that would be so awesome, just to have a radio and be able to watch whatever movie's playing there on your roof.
Fuck yeah,
that would be so awesome. So we got a nice roundabout. Ian, what's the little kid's name with Pete the dog there?
Oh fuck, I don't remember. Hold on. Patrick?
I
don't know. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't really paying attention to the kids' names.
No.
This is terrible to say, but I was just like, yeah, sure. That kid.
But we get a nice little round. We get to meet the squad and the kind of what's going on. The only parents we really deal with is his. And that's it. The diary describes an amulet that is composed of concentrated good. One day out of every century, as the forces of good and evil reach a balance, the otherwise indestructible amulet becomes vulnerable, with the next day of balance happening within a few days at the stroke of midnight. The children realize they must gain possession of the amulet and use it with an incantation from Van Helsing's diary to open up a hole in the universe and cast the monsters into limbo. As shown in the film's prelude, Van Helsing had unsuccessfully attempted this 100 years ago to defeat his old adversary, Count Dracula. His apprentices then immigrated to the United States and hid the amulet out of Dracula's reach, which happens to be a giant mansion that has now decayed in that neighborhood.
Yes. Also, the incantation is in German, but we skipped over how one of the kids' sisters, the sister that they were all perving on, she is taking German.
Oh yeah, but they were like, sucks.
But she sucks. So
all your sister does is, what did he say?
He's sister and let's
touch her tits.
Yeah. I was like, what? And then the kid didn't even defend his sister. I was like, yo, you suck. But yeah, so she's not the greatest at German.
No.
And so they have to go to Scary German Guy, who serves them pie.
Who
really loves serving them pie.
Yeah. Nevertheless, Dracula seeks to obtain the amulet so that he can take over the world. To this end, he assembled several monster allies: the Mummy, the Gill Man, which I think is that what he's called? Yeah.
The
creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, the creature. I don't know if that's his actual name. That's what he's credited as in this movie.
The Wolfman and 3 schoolgirls whom the Count transforms into his vampiric consorts.
Yeah, because that was weird.
Yeah, that was a little creepy.
Yeah,
and the guy who played Dracula was great. He
I
really,
love him.
yeah, he was Dracula, like 40s, 50s Dracula,
Yes.
like classic monster Dracula. And the Mummy looked great, and so did Gilman.
So did Gilman. So did the Wolfman.
The werewolf,
the werewolf looked
Wolfman,
great.
and Frankenstein.
They all looked really good.
Yeah, they look
really,
like
really good.
classic monsters. They were great.
Yes, it was so good. So I was like, I'm not even that mad. I was like, this is fantastic.
Dracula then steals a crate containing Frankenstein's monster from a B-25 Mitchell in flight. That was a good scene too, when he's like, this is a great job. This thus completing his army. However, Frankenstein's monster is reluctant to aid Dracula and wanders into the forest, where he encounters Phoebe. Rather than being afraid, she shows him the kindness he has always sought, and they become friends. After Phoebe proves to the Monster Squad that Frankenstein's monster is not evil, he chooses to help the boys instead of Dracula.
And they're all besties.
They're all best friends.
Really adorable because, like, after she brings him out, she's like, "Come on, Frankie!" She's holding him by his finger,
running away.
And she says is like, "Can I be in the club now?" And then they all hang out in the clubhouse, and it is kind of adorable. Because he starts mimicking all of their like slang and stuff, and
takes a picture of Buddy's sister naked.
Yep.
Where am I? Rather than being afraid, she shows it instead of Dracula. The amulet is buried in a stone room beneath the house that Dracula and the other monsters now occupy, and where Van Helsing's diary was found. The room is littered with wards which prevent the monsters from taking it.
Mm-hmm.
The Monster Squad break into the house, acquire the amulet, and narrowly escapes Dracula's grasp. They confer. This is where we get kick 'em in the nards.
Yeah.
The now schoolgirls as vampires chasing them down one hallway. It would, for a kids movie, it was creepy. It was, but not overly scary.
It was
very good balance.
Tense. It was tense, but not necessarily scary.
Yeah.
So you have that kind of like, oh no, are they going to escape? Oh, that's too close. But you don't necessarily fear for them. You know what I mean? Like, you're never thinking, oh, they're all going to die, which is good for kids.
Yeah.
The children's prefer not to have people die.
Who's going to think of the children? They confer with the scary German guy who informs them that the incantation must be read by a female virgin. In revenge for their meddling, Dracula destroys the squad's clubhouse, thereby drawing police detective Crenshaw, Sean, and Phoebe's father into the fray. Yes, before that, we get the guy who's a werewolf going into police saying, "Just lock me up." And they're all like, "Okay, buddy." And then he starts attacking them, and then he steals a gun, fires it in the air, and says, "Please, just lock me up." And then they kill him.
Yes. Well, they kill him, but then he comes back to life as they're transporting his body to the morgue.
Yes. And the mummy, they get a call where they have to go to the museum because the casket's open and there's not the mummy that's supposed to be in there is gone.
Which was pretty great because they were like, a 2,000-year-old body just doesn't get up and walk away. And then they immediately cut to a shot of the mummy just walking down the street.
Walking down the street.
I was like, that's fantastic.
And let's see. As midnight approaches, the squad makes their way to a local cathedral to make their last stand. Because before this, they barely make it. They lose Frankenstein because there's what happened? The explosion.
Yeah, there was an explosion, and then the ceiling and walls kind of
crumble down on him. They narrowly escape. The other guys can't get hold of them. They come to see what's wrong. They all meet up, and they're like, and then the German guy shows up to help them.
Yep.
And they're like, let's go to a church. The monsters hate that type of stuff. The doors of the cathedral are locked, so the incantation must be read on the stoop, leaving the squad vulnerable. I like Fat Kid. He's like, why don't we just go to Burger King and do it?
I love him.
There were a lot of great one-liners. Like, I love it when he's getting scared. He's like, why don't we just be like the Math Squad or the Nature Squad?
See, but that's what I love, because that's the kind of thing a kid would say.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, because sometimes when adults write movies for kids, they make their voices adult voices in the movie, and you're
Yes.
like, that's not what a kid would say. That's too far. You've gone too far.
Yeah. They enlist Patrick's elder sister, Lisa, to help them. That was pretty good when they're trying to ask her if she's a virgin.
Yeah. Just want to know, if
Yeah.
someone, if
Dorked
you've,
you.
has anyone dorked you?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Okay.
dorking.
As she is the only virgin they know, but the incantation fails since Lisa is actually not a virgin anymore. As the monsters
Steve
close,
doesn't count.
yeah, Steve doesn't count. I like the one kid. He's like looking at her. He goes, "You're not after you were
Yeah.
but where's the?" He goes, and then he puts it all together. He's like, "You're not a virgin, are you?"
I mean, kind of. What do you mean? No. I mean, there was Steve, but he doesn't count.
Oh, as she is the only. Oh, hold on. The squad deduces that Phoebe must complete the task of the opening of the portal.
Well, yes, because she is the only other human female within walking distance. But also, it's the way it was asked. Is she
Yeah.
a virgin?
Version. The German's guy, like, yeah, actually, she really is.
she really is.
The scary German guy attempts to help her read the incantation. And this is where that tense thing is coming. It is really well done because she's getting scared.
Yeah.
Dracula's closing in on her. And he's like, don't look at him. Just listen to my voice. And it was really well done.
It was.
That way, yeah. While the squad and the detective Crenshaw fend off the monsters. Yes, we get Horace taking on the Gill Man, the dad, the detective, and Sean taking on the werewolf. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Rudy is trying to take on the vampire girls, the schoolgirls.
He was doing okay too.
Yeah, he was doing pretty good. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, there were a bunch of little fights happening. And,
yeah.
And
everyone
they
was
were
kind of
all-
doing something.
Yes, and they were very portrayed realistically. I'm not going to say they were realistic fights, but like it was the vampire girls walking really, really slow.
Yes.
So it gave Rudy time to
Yeah.
get what he needed. And I was like, perfect. That makes sense. Wolfman fighting every cop that showed up.
Yes.
I was like, this makes sense. Like there was nothing where you were like, really?
The bullies
Really?
wouldn't let Fat Kid into the Burger King.
He's big.
Because
I
at
was
first, the
like,
Fat Kid
"Come
didn't want to
on."
fight. He wanted to go hide in Burger King.
Fuck yeah, I would hide in Burger King.
And Dracula
turn
kicking the
around.
shit out of everybody.
Yes, which I really appreciate as well.
Yeah. Okay, so in the ensuing battle, Dracula's cohorts, the Mummy, the Gill Man, and the Wolfman are defeated. Dracula arrives to destroy the amulet when Frankenstein monster intervenes. So Phoebe's almost done, and Dracula grabs her by the throat or the cheek there and lifts her up. But big giant hand grabs Dracula by the neck to save Phoebe. Frankenstein comes to save the day, which was nice. And he throws him and impales him on an iron cross, a wrought iron cross.
Yes.
Phoebe finishes the incantation, opening the portal, which begins to consume the bodies of the monsters and a few cops.
Yeah,
Cops got sucked into
a few
limbo.
people got sucked in.
I'm like, oh, that's not
maybe
fair.
them.
Now they got to go to limbo.
They'll be fine.
Yeah. Frankenstein's going.
Yeah, it's fine.
Dracula, still alive, attempts to drag Sean in with him, but Sean impales Dracula with a wooden stake, and Patrick grabs Sean before he gets pulled in with Dracula. Having briefly escaped from limbo, Van Helsing appears and pulls Dracula to his doom. As Frankenstein monster is drawn into the portal, Phoebe holds onto him. I will say this, as a bad part of this movie, as we're seeing cars being thrown into that portal into limbo, that park bench,
strongest bench in the world.
My God.
Especially because Phoebe was barely holding on.
Barely holding on.
She was like lightly resting her hand on it.
Frankenstein's just barely making it.
Yep.
Phoebe's just kind of kneeled down behind this little wooden bench.
leaning.
It didn't even look like it was nailed down. That was one thing I'm like, come on, guys.
But also, just before that, one of the I almost forgot about it, but this just reminded me. When Van Helsing gives Sean the thumbs up,
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck?
Yeah. I don't think they did thumbs up back then.
I don't know if they did, but
I don't think so.
I was like, why would you embarrass yourself like that?
Yeah.
Thanks for fixing my fuck up.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, 11-year-old boy who did what I couldn't do. So Phoebe's holding on to Frankenstein and pleads for him to stay. Knowing he does not belong on Earth, Frankenstein's monster lets go of Phoebe's hand, but accepts her gift of a stuffed animal to... I'm getting choked up just reading it. Stuffed Anna remember her by. The portal then closes, ensuring the world's safety. Well, for 100 years. Then we forgot. What's his name? The little kid with the dog sent that letter to the army. Monsters are coming. Come help us.
Yeah.
Because the United States Army shows up having the letter. Oh, Eugene. His name's Eugene. Asking for Eugene and asking where all the monsters is. When the confused general fails to make sense of the situation, Sean steps forward and presents the man with the business card, identifying himself and his friends as the Monster Squad. And we get, I know I'm frozen there, right?
Yeah, you are.
But we get a 1980s movie rap about the actual movie.
Yes.
Which is horrifying. It is as horrifying as it sounds, but it's so wonderful. Bad.
It's very 1980, like especially it is super late 1980s.
Yeah. Not really. No, I'm not even there.
No, you're just not even here.
And we're so close to the end. I'm okay.
So close. You know what? Don't worry about it.
All right,
into the darkness.
That is our movie. So, what is your score for Monster Squad?
Okay. I think this is definitely worth a buy it. And here's why. It is adorable. It is fun. It is light. It is very kid appropriate, with a small caveat that you have to have a conversation about language and how words can hurt. But other than that, like, this movie is super, like, the action, the horror aspects, and I put that in quotes, the monsters themselves, very, very reasonable for kids. And it's a great thing. And I'm like, I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. And I think to myself, you know what? I wouldn't be mad if I saw this every year.
Yeah, it's a good Halloween.
Yeah, it's a good Halloween movie. It's very sweet. It's very light, very wholesome. And I had a good time. So yeah, I think this is a buy it.
Did you rent it?
I
or
did
was it
not.
on somewhere?
So it was on Apple TV.
Nice.
But here's the thing, you can rent or buy it, or you can sign up for a 1-month Super Channel preview.
Oh.
Free trial. So I did that. So I watched it for free. But I was like, oh, I'm kind of okay. Like, I would have been fine paying for it. I would have been totally fine paying for it, but I didn't have to. But yeah, no, I think if you have kids, this is definitely a buy it. Or if you watched it when you were a kid, definitely a buy it. It's a rent it if you have never seen it before. But worth money.
Yeah.
Worth paying for.
Yeah. And what would your IMDb? IMDb?
I'd probably give it like a 7.6. It is still a kids movie. It still does have some exceptionally offensive language in it. Which, if you're watching this with kids, you're going to have to explain some things about why they can't go around using the F slur. That is not a word. You can't just say that people have, like, they're like homos. You can't just, that's not cool.
Or meow mix. Or
meow
like
mix.
Cats.
Her head looks like a cat. You know, you're going to have a talk about that. But overall, the production value on it was good. The acting was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for the kids. I was like, you guys aren't, like, bad. Because normally there's at least one kid actor in the movie that you're just like, oh my God, whose nephew are you? Like, how did you get hired?
Yeah.
There were none of those in this one. So yeah, I'd say 7. Did I say 7.8 or 7.6?
7.6.
7.6. Yeah. I feel very comfortable. Good, fun, wholesome movie. Made me tear up a little bit when Frankie was, being sucked into the vortex. Sad for Frankie. But other than that, what was your score?
My score. If you remember liking the Monster Squad, you are gonna still like it. This is a fun movie, and if you have kids, this is even more fun. It's like I said, it's not quite Goonies, but it's right there. It's right within that reach where, like Goonies, I like all the actors in Goonies. And it's very rare you do get a movie like that where every kid is like, even Phoebe was good.
Yeah.
And she was what, 6 years old?
Something like that.
Something like that. No, the monsters look great. The gore is pretty good for a kid's movie. It's tense. My kid loved it, and that's what really made I saw why I loved it as a kid, and that brought back nostalgia. But what gave it that little extra boost was my kid really liked it.
Yeah.
And this has now become we're gonna watch this again next Halloween. Easy. This is gonna be one of the ones that she'll probably request.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. No, I would say buy. I would buy. I got right behind me here. The blue. You can't see it now because I'm
I
all
can't
blacked
see.
out. I have the Monster Squad Blu-ray, which looks nothing like that different than a fucking DVD. I would buy the 4K if I didn't have it and I would just watch it like you and I saw for $20, $25. I would probably buy it just to get those extras, because I know Shout Factory or Scream Factory did the 4K and they just loaded it with a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, it's worth a buy. I would buy the actual disc. I did buy the disc. I don't know if I'll buy the 4K now because I already have this one, but yeah, it's worth having. It's got a lot of special features on it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I give it an 8, and I give it a little more just because my kid liked it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just, this is a good family movie. Yeah, there are some questionable things. But that, for me, that's part of the fun. Her mother can explain that stuff to her. But yeah, montages, rap songs about the actual movie. Yeah, Blue Lightning. It had all the 80 tropes. It was great.
Yeah. No, it was a good time. And
I mean, really felt bad when Frankenstein let himself go.
Me too.
Yeah,
like literally I teared up and I was like, why am I crying? Like the tears didn't actually fall, but like my eyes got all watery and shit. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sad for Frankenstein.
Yeah. No, it was a great movie.
It was.
I'm glad, because I'm like, come on. One of my movies have to be. It's one of the movies I remember being good has to be good.
Yeah.
And
you got it though. You got it. Your streak was finally broken.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the Monster Squad?
No. I think that's it.
All right. So we have 2 buy-its, a 7.6 and an 8 for the Monster Squad. Yeah. If even renting it or streaming it, if you can find it, yeah, it's worth, especially on Halloween. It's perfect.
It's a lot of fun. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did.
Yeah. No, it's an adventure, kids adventure horror movie. Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you for coming back to 1987 to watch The Monster Squad. And until the next movie we remember liking.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.